Hi, I hope you're okay. I know that this is coming to you at the right time because it's about God's timing and how God's timing is perfect. And I'm basing this on a passage from John's Gospel, chapter 11. And this is the probably fairly well-known story about raising Lazarus from the dead. And we start the chapter with John's sisters, Mary and Martha. You know, Mary, who likes to sit at Jesus' feet, and Martha, who's always preoccupied with what needs to be done. But their brother Lazarus is ill, and so they send for Jesus. And they say, let me read this, verse 3, "So the sisters sent to him, saying, 'Lord, he whom you love is ill.' But when Jesus heard it, he said, 'This illness does not lead to death. It is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it.'" Well, that's an interesting response from Jesus. The passage goes on to say that he stayed where he was 2 more days before he says to his disciples, let's go back, let's go back and see my friend because he's fallen asleep. And the disciples think that he's having a kip, and they don't think there's a particular problem with that. But Jesus, of course, is telling them that he's died. So anyway, despite the dangers, they do return to find Mary and Martha mourning for the death of Lazarus. And by the time Jesus arrives, Lazarus has been dead for 4 days. And 4 days seems significant. In the culture of the day, I understand that the belief was that the spirit departs from the body, and after 4 days there's just no reconciling the two. That's it. All hope is gone. You are well and truly dead, and you ain't coming back. But of course Jesus goes and he sees the mourners, he speaks to the sisters about the resurrection from the dead, and he goes to the tomb and he calls Lazarus out, and Lazarus comes back from the dead. And it seems that in our lives, when we think things are hopeless and we pray for loved ones to be healed, and we think that it's too late for anything good to happen in a situation, we need to trust in God's timing. That response that he gave to the message that Lazarus was ill is worth dwelling on, because that can apply to many of us in things that we're praying for. But it is interesting how Jesus delayed those 2 days so that he would arrive back at a time when Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And we read elsewhere in the Bible, in Romans chapter 5, about how at just the right time, while we were still weak, Jesus died for us at just the right time. We may think he died 2,000 years ago on a cross, and yet when we're born again, we suddenly realise that reality, that Jesus has died for us, and he did this while we were still sinners, way before we even put our feet on the earth. So let's think about that today, whatever we're going through, that God's timing is always perfect. And perhaps we can say with the psalmist in Psalm 13, if we're going through a difficult time, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long will I wrestle with my thoughts and every day have sorrow in my heart?" Yeah. How long must I wrestle with my thoughts? And every day have sorrow in my heart. How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, O Lord, my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. My enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord. I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me. Amen.